I begin in the name of Allah, the most kind, the most merciful. It's due to that kindness and mercy that we have these opportunities where we gather in remembrance and glorification of Him, Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. I want to focus on the relationship itself, the relationship between Ali and Fatima alayhim as-salam. They understood each other, right? And they respected one another. What does that mean, right? There are many beautiful examples we have of how they interacted with one another. We'll just look at one or two of them. First is, they never demanded or desired for that which their spouse could not provide for them. Yeah, this is huge. Yeah, this is huge. Fatima alayha afdalus salatu wassalam, she says that my father instructed me, Kana Rasulullah nahani an as'alaka shay'an. The story, if I remember correctly, was that Ali came back home and there was no food in the house. And he said that, why didn't you tell me that there was no food in the house? Right? And so she says, this is their response. Now we don't have to be at this level. Yeah, this is an amazing level. But she said, my father forbade me to ask you anything. Yeah. فقال لا تسألين ابن عمك شيئا إن جاءك بشيء عفو وإلا فلا تسألي. Yeah? He says that don't demand something from the son of my uncle. If he can provide for you, let him provide for you. If he can't provide for you, don't demand anything from him. Yeah? What a beautiful way. Honestly, what a beautiful way, right? We all have wants and desires, right? We all look on Amazon and be like, oh, I want this, oh, I want that, oh, I want this, right? But maybe we can't afford it, right? We all want to go out to dinner every night. Maybe we can't afford it. We all want a nice car. Maybe we can't afford it. Both spouses, right? This is not a finger at anyone, but both spouses need to make sure that their expectations they have for each other are within what can be delivered. Yeah? If it can't be delivered, then don't demand something, because it adds unnecessary stress within the house. The other spouse will want to provide because they love their spouse. They want to provide. There's nothing more heartbreaking than when you can't afford something and your child asks for something. Nothing more heartbreaking, is it? Yeah? This is why when Ali al-Akbar asked for water in Karbala, it broke the heart of Hussein. It broke the heart of Hussein, right? It broke the heart of Hussein to that extent where he began to cry and said, my son, you will be given water from Kawthar very soon. Yeah? Very soon. And then when he fell from his horse, right? What did Ali al-Akbar say? Yeah? He didn't say salam to you. He didn't say come to me. He said, Abata, my grandfather has quenched my thirst already. Why? Why? Because he knew Hussein's heart was breaking that he couldn't provide water for Ali. Allahu Akbar. My brothers and sisters, when we demand things from our spouse that we know that they can't provide, it adds undue tension and resentment within that household. The house of Ali and Fatima never demanded anything from one another. Right? If they could provide it, they did it. And even Ali, when he came home, it's not that he said, Fatima, why isn't the floor swept? Fatima, why is this left untidy? No. Whatever could be done, they would do it. Because why? Because they knew that they both were going to do their best. Yeah? If one spouse does not believe that their spouse is going to do the best, then yes, you will question each other. But if you both honestly know that we will work hard and we will do our best, then you will never demand or question anything from each other. You will just accept what is there already. Yeah? My brothers and sisters, when we want to practically live this, we need to learn to be satisfied with what we have. And not desire things which will add to our debt or increase expenses. This all depends on multiple things, of course, right? So it depends on your financial status. If you can financially afford things and you have an agreement with one another, khair, right? But if you can't, then there should be that understanding. So again, what does that mean? That means it requires a communication between the husband and the wife about your financial status within the house. Right? Oftentimes, a spouse will run all the affairs. The other spouse may not even know what's happening in the house. Right? But if they don't know what's happening, how will they know what to ask for and what not to ask for? There have to be these conversations. There have to be these talks. And secondly, there has to be lack of selfishness, right, within the house. I get this complaint all the time, right, that my husband will buy a $15 pack of cigarettes every day, but he can't provide anything for the family after that. He says, I don't have money for anything else. I can't take you out for it. Baba, right? Don't get a double-double every day. Save that $10 a week and buy something for your family maybe, right? If you're that tight, then you need to make personal sacrifices, not sacrifices on your family. You need to make the cuts yourself. You understand? So these are the ways in which we live with this. And the second thing, and we'll end with this, is they genuinely helped each other around the house. Genuinely. Right? First, when you look at traditions, we are told that they divided their work into two. We get a tradition from our fifth Imam Al-Baqir alayhi afdalu salatu wassalam. Allahumma. He says, Inna Fatimata alayha salam ضمنت لعلي عمل البيت والعجين والخبز وقم البيت. That Fatima guaranteed to Ali and said that I will handle the responsibilities inside the house. I will make the bread, I will clean the house, and I will do everything within the house. وَضَمِنَ لَهَا عَلِي. And Ali promises Fatima, مَا كَانَ خَلْفَ الْبَابِ. Everything outside the house, he says, I will take care of it. Yeah? وَنَقْلُ الْحَطَبِ وَأَنْ يَجِيعَ بِالطَّعَامِ. That I will bring the firewood for the house and I will bring the food for the house. Yeah? This was a division of responsibilities. But then we find that Rasulullah encourages Ali to do more within the house. Yeah? That when he comes home and he finds Ali helping to sweep, Ali helping to do something else, Ali helping to grind the wheat. This is something for us men to get, okay, to understand. Because yes, I think it's important that we make such an agreement with our wives, right? Especially if our wives are what's known as Rabbul Bayt. You know, the Arabic word for homemaker is very beautiful, right? Here in Arabic we'll put homemaker or housewife. In Arabic they say she is Rabbul Bayt. Yeah? She is the Lord of the house. Right? And this is her responsibility, that she has this house. So yes, make this agreement, especially if you are, if the wife is staying at home. You say, you handle the house, I will help. What does the Prophet say? He says, Ya Ali, he sees Ali working around the house. He says, Ya Ali, sa'atun fi khidmatil bayt khayrun min ibadati alfi sana. Subhanallah. He says, Ali, an hour of working in the house is better than worshipping Allah for 1,000 years. Yeah? وَأَلْفِ حِجَّةٍ, and better than 1,000 hajj. وَأَلْفِ عُمْرَةٍ وَخَيْرُ مِنْ إِتْقِ أَلْفِ رَقَبَةٍ وَأَلْفِ غَزْوَةٍ. SubhanAllah, this continues, right? That when a man comes home and recognizes that, hey, my job didn't end outside the house. My job is to continue, to make the life easier for my wife, to make the life easier for my spouse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does that, gifts this, right? And of course the woman gets the same gift. Don't be like, oh, then what do the women get? Women get the same exact thing. There's no difference when it comes to what one gains with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My point here is, my brothers and sisters, that we need to have, they had this mutual respect and love for one another. A mutual understanding to know that we need to assist each other. And these are two practical things that we need to take away from this lecture today. That when we want to have a house in which we can have sakina, sukoon, happiness, comfort, enjoyment, and the affection and mercy of Allah, then these are the things that Ali and Fatima did in their house to have that. Yeah? And inshallah, when we imitate their lives, we too will have this sakina and comfort from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.